my friends. Welcome to iLive, Life on Purpose. My name is Michael Charles from leadingwithintent.com, where I share insights, strategies, and secrets to intentional living, iLive, and creating lasting results, both in your personal and professional life. My goal is to elevate your awareness and help you master the essentials of life, money, and relationships so you can operate at a higher level of performance, again, both in your personal and professional life. So hang with me and let's take this journey together. With me here as your guide on this channel, iLive, Life on Purpose. And if you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified once I go live or upload a new video. So also, I have a free welcome gift for you to help you in your journey of discovery, growth, and becoming. And to claim that free gift, head over to my website, leadingwithintent.com, and for you to be able to claim that free gift. Today, I have a very special session for you. One of my friends that I met a couple of years ago now. So I invited her to the show and she agreed to come on the show. And so her name is Terry Wade, and she is a business coach and life coach. And also she's founder of the Lady Entrepreneur Society. I can't wait to hear about that and what that is all about. And so so she could share some tips with us as well. Because as you know, the title for today's topic is Secrets to Intentional Living, right? Essentially, secrets to living life on purpose. In 2021, this is a new year. In 2021, people set goals early, usually in January, right? People try to set goals and try to do a bunch of things to get in the groove and succeed in the year. So what a way to set the mood and to set the stage for success in 2021. So we'll be sharing some keys, some insights with you to help you live a purposeful life and, of course, create success habits in your life. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my friend all the way in the West Coast, Terry Wade. Welcome, Terry, to the show. How are you?
Hello, Michael. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing amazing. And I'm here from sunny California.
Of course. And you leave us out here in the cold, huh?
Yeah. I'll bring my sunshine over to you.
Sure. Well, at least today we'll get a little bit of that, right? So
Awesome.
it's great to have you here. It's great for you to share some wisdom and some insight with our viewers and our listeners in this show, iLive, Mastering the Essential of Life, Money, and Relationships. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about you, Terry? Again, you the founder of the Lady Entrepreneur Society. What does that mean, and how did you even come up with that?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I love entrepreneurship. My whole life, I've kind of wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I was younger, I would do lemonade stands, and then I would sell mistletoe in the winter. So I always had this entrepreneur spirit. And then I worked for small businesses. One of my first jobs was working for my uncle who had a coffee shop. So I've always had this entrepreneur spirit, worked for startups, and I realized, man, if they can do it, then I can do it. And then I really didn't like working for a boss, and like being told what to do.
Oh, yeah.
And there was this small business I worked for that was really growing fast and ended up growing too fast and ended up going under. So I learned a lot from them. But one of my bosses there was like, can you try to come in at 7:59? Because I would come in at like 8:01.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just too much. And then another time I had asked if I could take a vacation day months in advance, but they were saying that no, they needed me. And I was like, man, I'm just trying to be courteous and let you know. And so I just like, man, I don't want to work a job. And plus, not even just like there's so many reasons that people need jobs, and what I mean, like thank you for all the essential workers right now, especially. But for me, that just wasn't a desire that was in my heart, and I really feel like our desires are put on our heart for a reason. So I don't have a dream to go into space and be an astronaut. But
that could be fun.
I mean, it would be fun, sure. But it's definitely on my part. So it might not happen maybe after I've done some of the things I feel in purpose with. So I love today's topic of the secrets of living, in purpose, because that is what I'm all about. So I feel like everything I've done has prepared me for where I am. So sometimes people are like, why is this happening to me? I believe things are happening for your good at all times. And, like you're exactly where you need to be at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
So it's just been a journey. So with the Lady Entrepreneur Society, I was getting my master's in business in 2016. And that's when I decided I want to be working for myself. Like I have this master's degree, but I don't want to go into corporate. I ended up going into corporate for a little while, but not really purposefully. It just kind of like happened, but it was a perfect evolution into where I'm at today. So where I was working, I was part-time working as working at home. And it was funny because I had just watched the 4-Hour Work Week, or read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week. And so he was saying, if you can't, work for yourself, then work at home. So then you still have flexibility of your time. And so that was exactly what I had created. So while I was in school, I'm like, let me get a part-time job. And I had applied not knowing that it was a remote job. And now everyone's working from home and realizes just how amazing it is. So so I got a remote job. And then the lady that I reported to, she was actually a consultant in the company, making great money. And also a company I'd worked at before, they were expanding. The one I talked about that expanded too fast and went under. They had asked me, okay, we're expanding and we want to know what role you want to take on in the company if you could choose any role. And the lady that had asked me was also a consultant that came in, and I was doing the accounting at the time too. Like I wore multiple hats, as a startup. So I was doing the customer orders, I was doing the payroll, I was, just helping hire, going to trade shows, doing everything. But at the time I was like, man, I want your job, because she would make $150, come in for 3 hours a day. I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. And then when I was graduating with my master's, having the lady I reported to, I was like, man, I want to be a consultant. Like, it's official. I'm going to, like get my master's and then I'm going to become a consultant. And I had told her, because she was saying, I know perfect jobs for you. And I was like, you know what? I want to try this consulting. And then, very lovingly, she said, it's not possible. You can't do it. And I was like, I know. Exactly. And I was like, I do think it's possible. I think anything's possible. I'm very spiritual. I believe we, serve an abundant God that has given us the kingdom. As you have the work ethic and you believe it and the faith, backed by that faith that can move mountains, then anything's possible. So I took a couple in-depth marketing courses, and then I went from there. So I graduated in May with my MBA. June, I ended up to stop working for that company. It was a school. It was a grant funded position for the year to start up their alumni program. So I had done that, and then in July I got my first consulting client. So I was like, yes, it was so awesome.
And they said you couldn't.
Yeah, they said I couldn't. And especially because, in a younger, I mean, I'm not that young anymore, but, like I'm still like a millennial. I have like a lot of social media knowledge, and then getting this in-depth, like up-to-date training. So I became a marketing consultant. So from there, and then I had gone to this entrepreneur center asking, if they needed help with marketing, and I'm a marketing consultant, and they said they actually did. So I went on to do their marketing, and they hired me as an in-house consultant for other people that would just come. So then they would just pay me down with people, as a service of theirs. So that was awesome. And then I was on their advisory board, got some clients there, and went to networking events. So that's kind of how it started. I was doing people's Google ads, Facebook ads, marketing strategy, newsletters. So I was doing all the work, and then I realized I didn't want to be in it so much. And some of the work I was doing, like social media posting, I was charging, high dollar amount per hour for a task that could be done by an intern. So I was like, all right, this isn't the best use of your money and my time. And then I stopped charging by the hour, and I started doing 3 to 6 month packages. So, and then I realized being by myself at home was not as fun as I thought. I mean, I love it so much, but it's fun when you have a community to keep you motivated. And,
I agree with that.
Yeah, then just bounce ideas off each other and to not feel like you're so isolated at home. So that's where the Lady Entrepreneur Society came to be. And it actually started off as a membership site. So I know we met with Brandon Bouchard, Experts Academy.
I know, and that was 2 years ago, I believe October of 2019 or 18.
18, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think, yeah, a little over 2 years ago. I know, it's so crazy.
That's a long time. Yeah, I
You
remember
know,
my
it's fun
wife
to
and
see
I,
the
we,
evolution.
we when we met you, we were still trying to figure out how we're going to do this and what is this all going to be about. Just so you know, I started doing these videos after that event.
I love it, right? Yeah. It got me fired up for sure. So,
Yes, absolutely. All right, so now that our viewers have learned a bit about you, how about we get into the topic?
okay.
So,
So,
living life with intention, right, on purpose. So, help our viewers understand from that perspective, what do you think is the most important element to success?
I think having your why and your mission is one of the biggest things because that's what's going to get you jumped out of bed in the morning, especially when you're an entrepreneur. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to wake up at a certain time. So really knowing why you do this and what your mission is. So when I was younger, I was bullied when I was a kid. So
Wow.
yeah, it was horrible. I had actually a whole plan to kill myself because it was just so bad. I just
Ooh,
thought, and I
wow.
thought I was such a problem to everyone because I was like, why would I be bullied if
If you were not a
if I wasn't
problem,
such a
yeah,
problem? Yeah.
it's
Right, so I thought I was a problem to everybody. I thought I don't want to deal with the bullying. So I actually had this whole plan. I told my best friend that yeah, I had walked by my dad's like his room on the way to the bathroom, and he is closing his drawer, and he had a gun in there. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So I told my best friend at
wow.
the time, like, I'm gonna get home before they are, and I'm gonna just end this all. So it was just so crazy. And then, so, I ended up going to therapy because my best friend told her parents the next
Okay.
day, picked up, went to therapy. So, yeah,
Thank
that was
God she
good.
was a good best friend.
Yeah, right? I know. Yeah, like my one friend. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was perfect. And then, but from there, so I mean, things picked up, but I still had pretty low value, low self-esteem. And yeah, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't really feel like what I had to say matters, what I, was doing mattered. I didn't really feel worthy, especially of this abundant life that I'm able to live and the abundant
Yeah.
mindset that I have now. And I would have never thought any of this was possible. So that's my why is I want to show people that they can do it. So I want to be a role model of it. I want to, just empower other women that, feel like, who am I, that are, not confident. They have big dreams, but they don't think they're worthy of it. They don't know how to do it. But more importantly, building up that belief. Because I feel like if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really like my mission. My why is helping people. And there's so much. So talking about living in purpose. So really getting clarity on your desires, because once you have that desire and you make a decision, I'm gonna make this desire happen no matter what.
Absolutely.
Understanding the universal laws that we're surrounded with,
Yeah.
how the mind and the body works, and then who we are in spirit. Like we are a child of God, given the kingdom. We have the same creative power as God. We're made in God's image.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just so amazing. So
And
I think yeah, education and knowledge is really the key. So like anyone watching it, you are in the right place at the right time.
exactly, right. I love that you say this, right? Education and also learning and growing and getting knowledge is really one of the best ways to start living with intention, because I always say this to people: you can't really know what you want until you know what to want, right? If you're
Exactly.
not aware, if you don't know something exists, there's no way you're going to want it. Right?
Hmm.
I've spoken to people that have said, before I met you, I never thought about this and this and that. And now my options are so much more. And now I know I have better options than I thought before. So,
I
what
love
would
it.
you say to somebody who perhaps, feel that they're stuck and they want to start living on purpose, but they don't know what to do to find their why. They don't really know where to
Hmm.
start, and all they have around them is negativity. So what would you tell somebody like that?
Oh my gosh. Well, you really hit the nail on the head. So if all you have around you is negativity, like you are your environment.
Mm.
Environment is more important than heredity. So if you are in an environment that's negative, and then you either, if you can't change your exact environment, change what you're taking in. So change the books you're reading, change what you're listening to. And you can be like, you can have a mentor. They say the five people the closest to you are going to be like an accumulation of basically you and the impact you're making, the income you're making, and what your values are. So you don't necessarily have to be like best friends, buddy with them, but you could study them every single day. So I studied Bob Proctor every single day for a year. Now, I still kind of sporadically, but I was in his Thinking into Results program. And so we watched him every morning and every night. So I could recite his story by heart. Like I feel like he's like, I know him, even though he doesn't know me, but I really know him. And so you don't necessarily have to, you can put yourself in an environment purposefully. Like there's even, membership sites. So right after I met you, it's funny that you just started this, and I started the Leading Entrepreneur Society membership because Brendan had said, start a membership, but it ended up not fitting the results my clients wanted and like the impact goals and lifestyle goals for myself. But that's kind of where it started. And then it turned into a mastermind, like a high-end mastermind instead of like a $40 a month program. So but I would say if you're feeling stuck, then surround yourself, like first of all, like decide who do you want to be. So if you don't really know where you want to be, listen to your desires that are put on your heart. Like what do you just go on a binge YouTubing for hours and hours? Is it self-development? Is it fitness? Is it mindset? Like that's your desire. Like that's what you're deciding to do. Like what do you just kind of procrastinate on? Like you have something to do, but you rather do this. Like what is this that you'd rather do? Or like what's like they say you have a why that makes you cry. What are you so passionate about that you could just cry? Like I know some people are so into, one of my clients is into sustainable fashion, sustainable living, because she's just so sad with how people are treating, Mother Earth. And so it's like if you have a why that strong that's gonna make you cry, like then that that's where your desire and that's where your purpose is. And then just keep on feeding yourself. So this is the thing that I learned with Bob Proctor is that our thoughts that are internalized. So we have our, conscious mind or subconscious mind, but the subconscious mind is what's really doing all of the, like behind the scenes work. So the subconscious mind is going to put your body in a state of vibration. And so the vibration you're in is what is going to have you act and attract. So if I'm, So if I'm telling my subconscious mind, like, oh, I'm a person that's healthy and that's fit and that eats well, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, it's just like if subconsciously, like, and I work on self-image a lot. So if that's the self-image is like Terry's, a person that exercises daily and eats healthy and, and has fun in moderation, with like snacking or, champagne on New Year's. But it's like, it's like, then when I see a huge piece of cake or a whole piece of pizza, I'm just going to have a bite or a slice. Like it's, cause I'm a healthy person. And so having that self-image. So what you can do is you can affirm to yourself and get into your self-image. Because the thing is, we've been on the same program. So for me, I'm 32 years old. So for 32 years, I've been running this program, and I've been kind of changing the program paradigm or programming for the last 2 years since I joined Bob Proctor's program. But for the same time, a lot of times we're thinking 90% of the same thoughts from yesterday today. So it's like you're just on the same program, right? You're doing the same things, you have the same habits.
It's interesting you say this because a lot of people don't think that they're running a program. But that programming was done, was essentially put in place when they were in their adolescent years by either parents, by either an uncle, a friend that they hang out with the most, and some of the people they had around them, like you said, right? Environment is a lot more powerful than heredity, right? And I think that's a very important point for everybody listening and watching to know. Who you have around you is very important. Regardless of where you came from and what you've done in the past, right? Because that's what's going to mold you into the person you're going to become tomorrow. So that is so important that you're sharing these. Wow. Very exciting.
Yeah. And also one of the things, I have some clients and they know this and we talk about this because this is like the abundance mastermind that I'm in. And they'll say, like, I have friends that are kind of negative and I feel they're draining the energy out of me or like they're wanting free coaching or, so, and then they don't know how to talk to them, but it's really not a bad thing. Like if you feel that someone's draining your energy, it's totally okay to say, like, not now, like set the boundary, know that I'll be with you for this amount of time, or I can see you on this day and this day. And you don't have to call people back right away. You don't have to text back right away. Like you really need to fill up your own cup and then give from your overflow. And that's what my coach, Lisa Nicholas, always says.
Yes.
And so, it's okay to say no to people. It's okay to set boundaries. And, if people aren't healthy for you, you don't have to keep them in your life. I mean,
Exactly.
if it's family, then you have your family and you set those healthy boundaries, but you don't have to keep people in your life that are toxic to you, and you shouldn't, out of self-love. And I think self-love, that was like, I did this breakthrough weekend with self-love, and
Uh-huh.
it started attracting, so talk about law of attraction and law of vibration. It just started attracting amazing things into my life. I attracted my beautiful partner that I have now. And then that's when I launched the mastermind abundance program, is when
Okay.
after I did that self-love breakthrough. So it's just like, you just love yourself, you feel worthy, and like, I deserve it, and I'm worthy, and I believe I can have it. And it just emits this amazing high vibe frequency, like, where it attracts all good things to you.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching, if you have comments, questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. We'll be more than happy to go through them towards the end. But this is so important. Again, a lot of these points are so important in terms of getting our mind right. Because with all the challenges that most of us, if not all of us, have gone through in 2020, a lot of people feel that it's been so bad, and they don't even know how to get out of that. Right? One of the first steps is to prepare your mind and be ready, right? Because then the body follows where the mind goes, right? If
Yeah.
you feel that you're down, if you keep thinking that you're down, the body will start feeling like, okay, well, you telling me you're down, you don't want to do this or that. The body's going to respond to that vibration. People don't think about that. Thoughts are vibration, and they have
Yeah.
vibrational energy that is expressed through our bodies, and
Yes.
those thought vibrations create what we think about.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's so
Yeah.
it's so
It's so
important.
true. Yeah. Well, Einstein says everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Just
Hmm.
match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. So I really have been really cognizant of my energy. What energy am I emitting? What ends, even if, I have my moments where I'm feeling low and down, and I'll get triggered by something. I hope this is still good.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then, like, I listened to Abraham Hicks, and she always says you can't get there from there. And
Mm,
basically, what that means is if you're feeling really, really down in the dumps, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm going to be a millionaire," your subconscious mind's not going to believe it.
exactly.
And so, basically, what you have to do is, just say, things, I've been down before, and things worked out for me. And, like, you just kind of get a little bit better and a little bit better in your mindset. So if you're spiraling down a negative thought loop, I would just tell yourself, like, I've been in a bad place before and things got better. I can get myself out of this. And, like,
Exactly.
let me think about something I'm grateful for. Like, I have clean water, I have a running toilet, I'm breathing, I'm healthy, I have family, I have people who love me. Just little baby steps, because, yeah, the subconscious mind, it's not going to believe it if you try to take too big of a jump. And
Yeah.
it's really to help us. So if we are, like, if I were to have like a $10 million company right now, like, I would not really even know what to do with it, because it's like I'd have to have like a Facebook ads expert, copywriter, like, assistants, and,
Exactly.
coordinators. And then it's like I'm still just trying to, like, solidify, like, my morning routine, night routine, like, handling my schedule and sticking to every task. So it's like, for me to have to do that with the entire team, that would be overwhelming, and the universe isn't going to do something that's going to overwhelm you. It's doing things for your good all the time. And so
Absolutely. That is so important. That is so important. We have to match that vibrational energy that where we want to be. In other words, we have to be what I would call be in the zone.
yeah.
And you have to be in the zone, and start matching that vibrational energy of the things that it is that you want. And you have to be. That's why I like to say you have to be before you can start doing. And
Oh yeah.
when I say that, people say, well, I understand where I'm coming from. The mind is where everything starts. But a lot of the time, also, for you to get that motivation, you have to force yourself to start acting. And then the energy, the motivation will come, right? Because motivation is energy in motion. You have to start moving and get things going for you to get that motivation. So if you feel down, I know it may be hard, but start doing something, and you'll see.
Yeah, well, Mel Robbins has this 5 second rule.
Uh huh.
Have you heard of the book, Five
Yeah,
Second Rule?
yeah. The five
Yeah,
second
so,
rule.
and I use it all the time. So if I want to go live, or I just want to jump out of bed, I'm just like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you count down like a rocket ship, and then you get into action. So I'm just like, go live.
Go live.
And it's just like you just count down and do it, and then it's already done. Like, you just get out of bed and put water on your face, and you're like, all right, well, I'm up now. And so yeah, that's been really helpful for me. But I think like learning, what works for you and how you tick, but also creating success habits, and looking at people who've done it before you and what works for them.
Exactly.
Because success leaves clues. So.
Oh yeah, success leaves clues for sure. That's great. So, I know we talk about finding why. What would you say? And I've gone through a program where a whole program. Simon Sinek. He has his book about find your why. I think Start with why. I'm sorry. Start with why.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Okay, so I joined a mastermind group where we went through that whole process, where not only he talks about it a lot in terms of from a business perspective, but also it's very personal in terms of find your why for doing certain things. Now, would you say someone's why is the same as their life's purpose in general?
Yeah, I think they're very much the same. I think your purpose is like why you do things. So okay. I would say, yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. So you guys heard it. You so find your why, find your purpose, and usually your motivation comes from that as well, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely going to motivate you when it's like that deep, like, this is why I do this. And one of the things that I do to really get, stay motivated is I have just like voice notes from clients, and I have testimonials. And so I just look at them over and over, like especially days where I'm like, maybe not in a high vibe. I just read it over where they're just like, oh, like, you changed my life, or this has been transformed, or, like, because of you, I didn't give up, or like things like that. Like I'm like, yeah. Like, so I think having that around is so important too, as reminders of why you want to do something. So
exactly. That is so important. That is so important, because when things get tough, the why is what's going to carry you.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time.
Awesome. All right. So now you talked about abundant life a little bit earlier, and I know these are hard times for a lot of people, and many people can't understand or does not truly understand the idea of living an abundant life. What would you say to those people and to help them live out an abundant life?
Yeah. Well, what I would say is I think you have to have some kind of spiritual foundation to feel that you live an abundant life, because the material world is not really where the abundance comes from. I mean, you can live abundantly in the material world, but really the abundance comes from spirit. So when you have that peace of mind, so I get the best ideas in meditation or just in the shower when I'm not thinking about anything, but just, cleaning myself up. So I think the abundant life is when you can be at perfect peace, and then in that perfect peace, you realize there's just so much love in that instant. And then when you connect with spirit, like, you can be guided. And so I think when abundantly, it's like there's infinite possibilities. And when you connect with spirit, like, I'll just ask. So with the Abundant Mastermind, I was like, I need an idea from, because I'd work with clients. I'm like, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to do? Like, I need you to give me an idea. I feel like ask and it's given, ask and you shall receive. So I'm like, I need an idea that's going to make, my next, like, huge, big amount of money so I can be sustainable in my business. And so then I was on a mastermind call with, this other mastermind I had created from another group. But this wasn't a paid mastermind. This was just kind of, we're all in this program together. Let's mastermind around the principles we're learning. And then we were just saying how much we loved being in this group and how much we've grown from being in this group. And I was like, that's it. Like, I just got just like a spiritual kind of like knock over the head where it's like, hello, like, you need to create a mastermind. Yeah. And I had thought about this like a long time ago, but it just kind of came back to me. And I was like, I need to create my own mastermind, a paid mastermind. And like, this is the next thing I'm going to do. And then I just got everything was so inspired. It was like, hey, reach out to this person, follow up with this person. And so, but abundantly is knowing you really can do and be whatever you want. So you have to think, and everything starts with our minds. And so you have to think that way first and then step into it and become, be that person that lives in an abundant manner. Yeah. So I really believe in tithing. I read this book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. Okay. And so the very first law is tithing.
That's the book? That's the title of the book?
Yeah, the Four Spiritual Laws. Have you
Okay.
read it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so yeah, I would
I'll put it
definitely.
on my list as one of the books to go after and do and read.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of books back there. Yeah, I love learning. So the first law, it's tithing, and so I think this is a way to live abundantly. And you might think, because even in the book, she says she was like at her lowest point, and then they were saying you should tithe, and she was like, "What? Are you crazy?" She's like Southern accent and stuff, and she was like, "Tithe? I have millions to tithe on." And so, but if you can't tithe on $10, if you can't give back from, then what's going to make you tithe on 100,000, a
Exactly.
million? And the tithing, yeah, it's not because like you're this awesome person that tithes. It's you're tithing to give anything that feeds you spiritually. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a church or anything, but it's giving to the abundance. I'm giving because I know that there's more than enough to go around. So tithing changed has really, really been a game changer for me because it feels so good. One of the beliefs I had, I learned that one of the limiting beliefs I had about money was that like it's almost greedy to have so much when other people have so little.
I
So that was one
know.
of the
And it's
beliefs.
hard for some
Yeah,
people to get over that.
yeah. And so that was a belief I had. And then once I started tithing, I was like, like it's really important for me to have a lot so I can give a lot. But if you're
Yeah.
not practicing tithing, then you're gonna that's gonna be a belief you have is like, oh, you're greedy to have so much money when other people are in need. But then if you think I have so much money and I give so much money, and the more I get, the
The-
more I give,
exactly.
because that's just part of your practice, then that is like a really abundant mindset, abundant living practice. And then the second principle in the prosperities was forgiving, and I think this is really huge because again, this is so it's four spiritual laws, right? So it's
Yeah.
like forgiving yourself, but even if you're not feeling like you're super spiritual, forgiving yourself opens up space for all good things. So, because then you have so many blocks. So, I also got certified in theta energy healing, where it's like aligning the chakras and clearing the chakras so you can really get connected and just let the energy flow in that sense.
Awesome.
But yeah, you're blocked by beliefs. So what we do is we do muscle testing on what beliefs you have and then how you can clear those limiting beliefs.
Nice.
So I know I because it's energy, right? So I just think it's fascinating. So forgiving yourself for anything that you did in the past, forgiving anyone else that did something to you, because like it's like holding a hot coal and then wanting to throw it at someone that hurt you in the past. It's like you're the one burning, you're the one hurting from that. So
Exactly.
forgiving is just so extremely important. So yeah, if you did anything, like say I don't know, you took an ice cream when you were younger, like and you're holding on to that guilt, let it go. Like that's okay. Like anything that happened, like it's okay. And I really believe so. I've been studying A Course in Miracles, and it's saying like you are holy, you are innocent, you are forgiven, like you have done nothing wrong. Like God sees us perfect and beautiful no matter what we're doing. And so it's just like so that like forgiving and then goal setting. And I actually forgot the fourth one, but the abundance is like I'm working towards goals, and as you work towards goals, you become the person that achieves the goal, and that's really the like the trophy right there is the person
Yeah.
who becomes the process, right?
Yeah, and one of my mentor years back, oh my gosh, taught me this lessons, and he says the purpose of the goal is not the goal. The purpose of the goal is who you become in
Yeah.
your pursuit of the goal, because that goal you could lose it the next day, but who you become in the process matters a whole lot more, because that goal you could recreate it and even surpass that.
Oh yeah.
But who you are, what you've learned, who you've become is so much more important. And it's just so amazing that not a lot of people think about these things in such a way. And one other thing you said also is with regards to money. A lot of people have these false beliefs about money, these myths about money that they believe that prevents them from having any of it in their lives. It's like, how could you be mistreating something and treating it as bad and thinking of it as evil, but then you want to attract it to your life? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. No, I think we need to treat money like a best friend. Like, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for coming. And like, we're going to go have fun together. And then even
Yeah.
when bills come, it's like, thank you. Cause that's the energy around bills. Like, thank you for allowing me to have electricity. Like, thank you for allowing me to have water. Thank you
Yeah.
for, letting me get this comfortable clothes. Like, thank you for a nice laptop. Like, so it's not like, oh, another bill, but like, you're grateful. So you're grateful for money coming in. You're grateful for money coming out. It's just like, yeah, it's just like, fun. It's like, what energy do you have around money? So some people, yeah, it's like even thinking about like right now, like what does that make you feel when you think of money? Like, does it feel like, that's awesome? Or like me and money love each other? Or is it like, I don't have enough and it's always gone before I can get it? Or, like all these thoughts.
Exactly. It's, yeah, we need to do better in that department. And that's why I think right now, as I think about it, the month of March will be about entrepreneurship and money. So I'm looking forward to that because it's going to be exciting. Entrepreneurship and money. So yeah, that is so important what you shared. Any last tip you want to share with our viewers before we go for the day?
Yeah, well, I did want to share because I created a special link just for your viewers. So I'm doing this. If you are passionate about starting a coaching business, maybe this is not you, but I'm just doing an 8-week course. It's if you want to launch your coaching business and get your first client, then I'm creating this 8-week course. We're going to start next week. And so if you go to bit.ly/getbookedinfo, then you'll go to the landing page for what the course is about. And then on the checkout, if you put iLive, then you get $200 off the course. So I just created that for your listeners. And yeah, basically just if you want to get your first clients, it's not the techie stuff. When I first started, the first thing I did was got like a business license. Okay. And I didn't even know what people wanted, like anything. But I like paid, like you have to pay your $800 fees. And so I paid, I got this license, paid for the license. And then I didn't even have a solid idea to test once I got into like my package Lady Entrepreneur System. Okay. And so this is like with low tech, no tech, you can kind of just have your Google Drive, Google Forms. We help you package your superpowers and get your first client. So if you're interested in that, I'd love to help. And I'm so excited to be here. And thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much, Terry, for joining us here. I mean, it's been fun. Hopefully we can see you again on the show sometime soon. When we talk about money or some other topics. Because again, there's a lot of I don't know if that's the word, but myth, I guess myths is the word really. About money out there that we need to clear out for people. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Terry, for joining us, and thank you, all of you watching. And if you are joining us for the first time, if you have any, feel free to reach out to me, comment, and send me a message. I will definitely get back to you. So thank you for spending time with me, and I hope you got value out of what's being shared today. And if you're struggling with relationships, leading yourself and others with intention, living life on purpose, really, and you are in the right place, right? The goal is to help you grow beyond your current capacity so you can become more, do more, and have more in your life. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified each time we go live. So again, don't forget to get your free gift from leadingwithintent.com, and of course to help you on your journey of discovery, growth, and becoming. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And until next time, live in the zone and honor your fight. I'm gonna try.